is based on a conversation I had with an Irish immigrant named Dean Hogan, who gave me permission to turn our conversation into a story. I used to live in the city in Boston, but I also ride horses. So to get from where I lived to the stable, I had to take 2 trains, a bus, and a taxi. And every time I got inside a taxi, I always heard every taxi driver's story about their encounter with a horse. And for some reason or another, every taxi driver had always had some experience with a horse. I heard about the man who came from out west, where he used to raise his own horses and break them in himself and train them. And they were just like pets. He had a tub out in the back field, and he would fill it with water on hot days and sit out there in his bathing suit. And one day, a horse tried to get right into the tub with him. Or I'd hear things like, "Oh, yeah, I know that stable. They used to do trail rides in the Blue Hills 20 years ago. How come they don't do that anymore?" Or, "Yeah, I went riding with my girlfriend once. I fell off. You'd never get me on one of those things again." Well, one time after I finished riding and I groomed and stabled my horse and called for the taxi, when I got in, this taxi was being driven by an Irish immigrant named Dean Hogan. And he said to me, "Why is it that whenever you take lessons on how to be riding a horse, they're always telling you things like how important posture is and how you have to have the right posture to ride a horse? Do you know, when I was a little boy in Ireland, I used to ride horses all the time. I had nothing to hold me onto that horse. No saddle, nothing. I had a little string. I tied it in a knot to make a circle. I'd throw it over the horse's head, and I never once worried about posture, and I never fell off a horse. I used to steal horses from the gypsies all the time and ride that way." Wait, what a minute. What was that you said? Why is it whenever you take lessons on how to be riding a horse, they're always telling you about posture? No, I mean, you stole horses from gypsies? Oh, well, it's true. There are some gypsies that steal. But these days, most gypsies, they make a good, honest living for themselves, raising and selling some of the world's finest horses. There are fine lords and ladies from England that come over to Ireland to be buying their horses from the gypsies. Now, my friend Tom and I, we always knew how to find the gypsy camps. We would hide in the bushes and we would wait. We would wait till no one was looking our way and no one was near the horses. Then we'd jump out of the bushes, we'd run over to the horses, we'd jump on their backs. We had this little string with us that we tied in a knot. We'd throw it over the horse's head and away we'd go. We had no saddle or nothing, and we didn't worry about posture, and we never fell off a horse. Well, now it wouldn't take too long for the gypsies to see what was going on. And the gypsies, oh, let me tell you, the gypsies, they can run. But the horses, they can run faster. And the gypsies, oh, let me tell you, the gypsies, they can curse. Such things they used to yell at us. Tender young Christian ears shouldn't have been hearing. But I suppose tender young Christian hands shouldn't have been stealing horses either. Well, it wouldn't take us too long to get away from the gypsies. And then we'd be out on our own on those horses in the open fields. They say that a gypsy's gold doesn't clink or clatter, but that it gleams in the sun and it whinnies in the dark. For a gypsy's gold is his horse. And they say that the air of heaven is the air that blows between a horse's ears. I know, don't you know that it's true? We would ride till we couldn't take it anymore, till we were silly with it. We would have races with each other. We'd play cowboys and Indians. And when we couldn't take it anymore, we'd get down off the horses, take off our string, slap their rumps, and off they'd go. Well, the gypsies weren't going to break camp until they had their horses. and the horses always knew how to find their way back to the gypsies. I've been in America for 10 years now, and for 10 years, I've worked very hard. And yesterday, I bought myself an airline ticket. I'm going home. And I don't think I have any fonder memory of my homeland than to remember what it was like breathing in the air of heaven from the backs of gypsy gold.